Honorable Minister has arrived. Sir. Sir, please. Now I request Honorable Minister of Earth Science and Food Processing Industries to kindly take the seat at the dais and preside over the press conference. We are happy to have Shri Kamal Kishore Member and Head, National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA, with us. I request you, sir, to come to the dais. This press conference has been organized in hybrid mode. It has been attended by press and electronic media and officials from Ministry of Earth Sciences, India Meteorological Department, National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting, Ministry of Power, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, and Ministry of Jal Shakti. I, on behalf of India Meteorological Department, welcome you all to this press conference. Now I request Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences, Shri Kiranji, to say a few words.
Namaskar. I'm going to make a very brief remarks, and then our Director General of the India Meteorological Department, Mrityunjay Mahapatraji, will give the technical updates, and then Kamal Kishorji, the Member Secretary of the National Disaster Management Authority, will speak from the perspective of how our management is with regards to the incoming weather difficulties or any other issues related to different hazards because of the weather phenomenon. This is the right time for all of us to take precaution and also to know that where do we stand and what is our preparation for the incoming monsoon season. We all know the Indian subcontinent is a very typical region in the world which encounters multiple difficulties with regards to extreme weather conditions. As our Director General IMD will give the brief, Dr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra will speak in detail. But what I have realized is that as the climate changes and the extreme weather conditions are a regular phenomenon, where we encounter maximum rise in temperature, minimum drop in temperature, extreme heat waves. We also see extreme rainfalls, rise in the flood water. Then we also encounter extreme drought and so many other things, including the difficulties we face in the coastal regions and in the Himalayas. So these are some of the things which we are rapidly witnessing, especially in the past few years. Recently, we had a very useful meeting with all the stakeholders where I attended and chaired a meeting. As there is a projection of extreme heat waves in the coming 3 months, all the stakeholders, including the state governments, made elaborate preparations. And as you know, in India, we have witnessed large numbers of lives have been lost due to extreme heat waves and other extreme weather conditions. What I can tell is in the last few years, the level of our preparation has increased many folds. Our NDMA is one of the few agencies in the world which had come out with a National Disaster Management Plan, which Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji had launched. And there are many important and significant steps being taken. Since we are the largest populated country in the world, and we face extreme weather conditions, so it makes India absolutely necessary as a country to prepare ourselves well in advance, well in time. As I was going through the projections which are formulated by our ministry, especially from the IMD and other agencies, this year we are likely to encounter extreme weather difficulties, especially end of April, now May, June. These are going to be very difficult times. So on the one side, we know we are going to face extreme weather conditions. On the other side, the country is going for election. Now, this is the election which is not comparable to any other countries in the world. As the largest democracy and close to 1 billion people going to voting, it will be very challenging. And especially the elections which are going to take place after second and third phase. The first phase is on 19 April. By that time, I believe we would yet be encountering extreme weather conditions. But thereafter, it's going to be very difficult for all of us. So we have to be prepared. So well on time, it is very important that our ministry, along with the stakeholders, brief the people of the country and let them know that we have to take proper precautionary measures to not only face the extreme weather conditions, but also to take part in the electoral process. The adult franchise is a right given to every voter by the Constitution of India. So on the one side, we are encouraging people to vote. On the other side, we have to be extremely careful in the entire electoral process. तो मैं एक अपील के साथ अपना माइक हैंड ओवर करूंगा कि चुनावी प्रक्रिया बहुत तेजी से चल रही है और इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया के माध्यम से भी अपील किया गया है और हम लोग सब चाहते हैं कि सब वोटर, सब मतदाता वोट डालने जरूर आए। तो ऐसा में क्योंकि इलेक्शन का समय और हमारा मौसम का जो परिस्थिति है वो ऐसा है कि सबसे कठिन मौसम के समय ही चुनाव होने जा रहा है, इसलिए ये ब्रीफिंग बहुत जरूरी समझा है और इसमें हमारा मीडियम टर्म, लॉन्ग टर्म फोरकास्ट के बारे में भी जिक्र करेंगे। तो मैं आज हमारे साथ में हमारा डीजी आईएमडी और एनडीएमए के मेंबर सेक्रेटरी कमल किशोर जी, जो बहुत ही एक्सपीरियंस्ड पर्सन है डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में और अर्थ साइंस मिनिस्ट्री के साथ में एनडीएमए बहुत क्लोजली काम कर रहे हैं। आज यहाँ हमारे विभिन्न विभागों का जो संबंधित अधिकारी हैं वो भी सब आए हैं। तो इनके समक्ष हम लोग जब आज बात रख रहे हैं तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये जो मैसेज है हमारे देश के सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स इसको ध्यान से सुनते हुए फिर लोगों तक हम कैसे जाएं इसका तैयारी रखें। और एक चीज़ मैं कहना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि मैं कई सालों से डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट के क्षेत्र में काम कर रहा हूं, तो जब तक लोगों को हम अवेयरनेस के साथ साथ ऐसा मजबूती कदम ना उठाएं, लोगों के साथ तालमेल करके, तब तक हमारे जो व्यवस्था है, जो एजेंसीज है, अपने आप में पूरी तरह से लोगों को बचाने में या लोगों को राहत देने में कामयाब नहीं होगा। तो आम जनता, कम्युनिटी लेवल में, इंडिविजुअल लेवल में सबको साथ में लेकर के हमको प्रिपरेशन करना है, क्योंकि हमको मालूम है आने वाला 2.5 महीने में बहुत ही कठिन मौसम के दृष्टि से एक्सट्रीम वेदर कंडीशंस जो हम फेस करने वाले हैं। तो इसलिए आज का ये प्रेस वार्ता बहुत जरूरी समझा है। तो मैं अपने आईएमडी मौसम विभाग के जो डीजी हैं डॉक्टर मृत्युंजय महापात्र जी को पहले कहूँगा कि जो लॉन्ग टर्म फोरकास्ट, हमारा जो वेदर रीडिंग वगैरह जो डिटेल्स है उसके बारे में जानकारी दे। फिर उसके बाद कमल किशोर जी प्रिपेयर्डनेस का दृष्टि से जितना स्टेक होल्डर्स और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ में हमको क्या क्या करना चाहिए और क्या हम अभी तक कर चुके हैं, इसका जानकारी भी आपके सामने में रखेंगे।
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your encouraging and very important opening remarks. I now request DGM IMD to make a brief presentation about current state and forecast of heat waves as well as preparedness measures of various agencies. DGM, sir.
Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences and Food Processing Technology, Sri Kiran Rijiju ji, Honorable Member and Head, National Disaster Management Authority, Sri Kamal Kishore ji, the experts and administrators from Ministry of Power, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Jal Shakti, and my dear colleagues and friends from Ministry of Earth Sciences, Additional Secretary, Joint Secretary from Earth Sciences, colleagues from National Center for Meteorology and Forecasting, and my dear esteemed friends from press and electronic media present physically here, and also those who are participating online. This conference is being organized in a hybrid mode, and we expect that all the press and electronic media persons are participating in this program. At the outset, I thank Honorable Minister for gracing this occasion and giving us an opportunity to organize this multi-agency address in connection with the heat wave expected during the period April and May. So I will give a brief presentation about the status and the forecast, and also the various preparedness measures being taken up by the various ministries at the central government level. If you just look at the heat wave forecasting, we have a seamless weather forecasting system since 2015. If you all remember, in 2015, 2,000 people died due to heat wave. After that, Minister of Earth Sciences introduced this forecasting system, commencing with the seasonal forecast. This forecast is being issued for 2 stages: heat wave for the period March, April, May, and which is again updated for the period April, May, June. So on 1st March, we issued the forecast this year. Again on 1st April, we are issuing the forecast for the period April, May, June, and also for the month of April. This forecast is followed by the extended range forecast, which has the validity of 4 weeks, and it is issued every Thursday in the afternoon. It provides the possibility of the hot spells, cold spells, heat wave conditions or severe heat wave conditions, and also the forecast for temperature, maximum and minimum. Following the extended range forecast, we issue the medium range forecast that is valid for up to 7 days, and there we issue the warning. The heat wave warning is issued at district level and the meteorological subdivision level by our headquarters here, and also by the meteorological centers at each state. We have got 26 meteorological centers and 6 regional meteorological centers. All these are providing at state level, location specific and district level heat wave warning. And this heat wave warning is not simply the weather warning, but also the impact based heat wave warning, where we mention about the damage expected due to the heat wave and also the action suggested for remedy. So it is also followed by a short range forecast. Every day we issue a forecast, and that is twice a day we issue here, indicating today's condition and also the conditions for the next 5 days, etc. Now, if you look at the forecasting system, what Minister of Earth Sciences has introduced, and IMD is issuing the forecast with the support from National Center for Meteorology and Forecasting and Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, and many other agencies. Here, what we do, there are various new methods has been introduced. I should thank Kamal Kishore Saab for his guidance and support for introducing very new parameters to have the impact assessment of the heat wave. So we have come up with the hot weather hazard analysis for entire country, considering different meteorological parameters like the day temperature, the night temperature, and also the humidity, wind speed, and wind directions, and also the various indices. We have introduced operationally the heat index, that is a function of temperature and humidity from last year. We are providing all the information in GIS. You can find out there is a GIS page for heat wave, where all information not only for today, for next 5 days, and also the past 5 days. If there is a continuity of heat wave conditions in a particular area, that also you can find out. So GIS-based socioeconomic exposures, you can find out what could be the impact on the power sector, what could be the impact on the surface transport, aviation, maritime sectors, or the Indian railways. Also, you can find out the health sectors. Various socioeconomic attributes have been added over the years. The vulnerability atlas has been prepared with respect to heat wave, considering the potential of the heat wave to cause the mortality and morbidity. The data set has been utilized from 1960 onwards. We have published the data, that is disastrous weather events. We have also the percentile-based extreme temperature formations. It was one of the you can say recommendation the last heat wave meeting which was conducted by NDMA, where some of the users suggested that we should provide percentile. We are providing percentile, the 90th percentile, 95th percentile, and 98th percentile of the values based on the past data. And we say whether temperature is expected to exceed 98th percentile or 95th percentile or 90th percentile. By that way, it becomes independent of the region. We can find out how extreme it is in terms of the forecast and actual conditions. On the right hand side, what you say, actually it is a map in the tabular form, green, yellow, orange, red. This table contains the information about the duration of heat wave, intensity of heat wave, and also it provides the expected damage and action suggested. The action suggested expected damage has been written based on the joint guideline developed by NDMA and IMD and along state governments. So there it takes care of various sectors where we can have the impact of the heat wave. Before I go for the forecast, I just want to inform you about the climatology of heat wave. Heat wave can occur even in the month of the March also. The summer season defined from March onwards, March, April, May. So that March, in general, we have got a temperature of 36 to 40 degrees Celsius in peninsular India and adjoining central India. If we go to April, you will find that temperature increases. It becomes 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, 42 degrees Celsius for most parts of the central and north peninsular India. By the month of May, it becomes 42 to 44 degrees Celsius for most parts of northwest, central, and northern peninsular India. You can see how the color is changing from light or pale yellow to the deep red color in the month of May. Now, if you look at the climatological heat wave conditions, usually in the month of March, we do not get heat wave conditions except some parts of eastern India like Odisha and North Andhra Pradesh. And also in the western side, we get Gujarat, Saurashtra, Kutch, and southern parts of Rajasthan. And sometimes there could be heat wave conditions over the hilly area like, say, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. But by the month of April, you will see that the spread increases, though intensity gradually increases, but the spread increases, area increases significantly over the Indo-Gangetic plains and central parts of the country. And by the month of May, you will find that most parts of the central India, northern plains, and also the northern peninsula becomes prone for the heat wave conditions. You can expect 6 to 8 days heat wave conditions in month of April and 6 to 10 days in the month of May. Now, if you look at the relative humidity, which is another important factor to have the assessment of the impact. Being temperature same, if humidity is high, then feeling temperature, feel like temperature becomes high and becomes disastrous for human health, and it causes mortality or morbidity. So you can find that humidity is quite high, more than 65% along the west coast, east coast, and northwest India, that is Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Ladakh, and also the northeastern states. And this humidity goes on increasing as we go from March to April towards May. Northeastern states get high humidity because you can expect heavy rainfall, just like last day. During the past 24 hours, there has been heavy rainfall in Assam and adjoining areas because of the thunderstorm activity. And the northwest India, humidity increases because of the western disturbances in the month of March, and it gradually decreases as you go from March to April to May. And the coastal area, it's because of the sea breeze, you get the high humidity. So this is the wind speed. You will find that along the coastal area, wind speed is quite high, but the low period, the dry northwest winds becomes higher along the northern plains, especially the northwest India. Now let us look at the vulnerable zones. If you look at the vulnerable zones, you will find that Because of the heat wave, there are two important volatile zones. One is northwest India, that is Rajasthan and adjoining areas of MP and UP, you can say. And other one is the coastal area, that is Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, that includes Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra Pradesh. This is the most two important zones, but the changes with respect to month. In the month of May, it is most disastrous, followed by in the month of June, it gradually improves, but northwest India becomes more prone. Even in the month of July also there could be heat wave. The vulnerability means at least one person died in the past because of the heat wave conditions. Now this is the observed maximum temperature in the month of February and March this year. You will find that southern peninsula was warmer compared to the northern parts, and this warming extended to central part in the month of March. Now, if you look at the departure from normal, how anomalous it was compared to the normal conditions, you'll find that northern peninsula, the southern peninsula was warmer by about 1 to 3 degrees Celsius, both in the month of February and in the month of March. But the central India, the northern plains were normal to below normal temperature conditions. It mainly happened because of the good amount of rainfall activity in this period, in this area. Now let us look at the forecast maximum temperature April to June, and you can find that there are three categories here. One is the yellow, orange, red color, that is the probability of above normal temperature. Then is the green, that is the normal temperature. And then you got the blue or deep blue, that is the below normal temperature. So from this diagram, you can find that most parts of the country shows that it is green, yellow, orange, red. That means temperature is expected to be above normal in most parts of the country during the period April to June. And except some parts of extreme northwest India, like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal, and adjoining areas, and here in northeastern states like Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura, and some parts of North Odisha and adjoining to West Bengal also to have normal temperature. Otherwise, most parts. But if you look at the red color zones, that is Gujarat, South Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, East MP, Maharashtra, etc., their probability is high that temperature will be above normal. So if I look at the forecast for heat wave during the period April to June, left-hand side diagram is the climatology of heat wave. Usually you get in the month of June, in this period April to June, you get heat wave conditions for northern India, central India, northern peninsula. And here on the right-hand side, this is the forecast. What you find that forecast indicates that the number of days compared to normal to be higher, especially the area is Gujarat, Madhya Maharashtra, North Karnataka, followed by Rajasthan, MP, North Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. So this is the area. Usually this is the heat-prone area, but specifically if you just look at this western part is expected to get more number of heat wave days compared to the normal. But overall, the entire area of central India, North Peninsula is expected to have above normal number of days of heat wave. Now, if I look at the forecast for month of April, the temperatures are likely to be above normal over the most parts of the country. You can see the current color is yellow, orange, and red, except similarly parts of northwest India and northeast India. And normal to below normal maximum temperatures are very few area, that is northeastern states and western Himalayan region. If I look at the heat wave conditions in the month of April, climatological also you can say that month of April we experience heat wave conditions, and today itself our temperatures are rising at present, and we have given some warning also. And forecast heat wave says that yes, northern plains, the Indo-Gangetic plains has the less chance comparatively, but southern, the central India and northern peninsula, they are expected to have higher than normal number of heat wave days. So 2 to 8 days of heat wave expected in this region. That means the central India and northern peninsula as against normal of 1 to 3 days. So most prone areas, if you just look at, they are Gujarat, Maharashtra, North Karnataka, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, West Madhya Pradesh. Now, if I look at the extended range forecast, that is forecast for next 4 weeks, on the left-hand side, week 1, you can find that it is showing that some parts of coastal Odisha and North Andhra Pradesh, we can have the heat wave conditions. Then second week, similar area also is there, and third week, it is less, but fourth week again, it is increasing. And this also there is a probability forecast of heat wave and severe heat wave conditions day by day, and that goes up to 4 weeks. So this is updated every Thursday. If you look at the confidence of the disaster managers and general public, heat wave forecast accuracy should be evaluated. Every year we calculate the forecast accuracy and is shared to press and electronic media and also put up in the website. Our forecast accuracy in terms of probability of detection, if you just look at it, is 95% for day 1. And for day 2, it is 81%, day 3, it is 58%, and it decreases as you go to day 4 and day 5. What I want to say that in the medium range, when warnings are issued, there is forecast scale up to 5 days, but it is quite good scale up to 3 days. And if you look at the performance improvement over the years, yes, there is significant improvement. You can see on the right-hand side diagram how the probability of detection has improved over the years for day 1 forecast 16%, then 22% improvement for day 2, like that it goes on. Not only the probability of detection, that means detecting the occurrence of heat wave 5 days ahead has increased, but also the missing rate has decreased and false alarm has decreased over the period of time. Now, if you look at the rainfall forecast for the month of April, we are expecting rainfall over northwest India and also some parts of the central India. And rainfall for the country as a whole is expected to be normal. Normal is defined as 88% to 112% of the long period average. The long period average rainfall for the country as a whole is 39.2 millimeters. So below normal rainfall activity is likely over east and west coast, parts of east and northeast India, and the south peninsular India. That yellow color indicates below normal. The green color indicates the normal, and blue color indicates the above normal. But I will just take it with a pinch of salt for northwest India, because amount of rainfall occurring in northwest India is quite less. We have seen dotted lines. So therefore, there is a high variability. So therefore, if you look at the prediction, predictability is less for northwest India compared to the other parts also in this area. Now, people talk about El Nino and La Nina conditions. At present, El Nino conditions are continuing. You can see from this diagram, El Nino conditions are expected to continue during April month and May month. But in the monsoon season, it is expected to become the neutral conditions. And finally, towards second half of monsoon, we are expecting that it will be La Nina conditions. This is the forecast by different international models. Also, the monsoon mission climate forecast system of Ministry of Earth Sciences. So there is another parameter called Indian Ocean Dipole. Indian Ocean Dipole is positive neutral at present, and forecast says that Indian Ocean Dipole will become the positive Indian Ocean Dipole. Now you may ask, what is the impact on heat wave conditions? During El Nino years, the heat wave frequency increases. Above normal heat wave conditions are usually observed during the El Nino years. Therefore, in the April month and May month, our forecast, what you saw now, is in agreement with the El Nino forecast. And IOD, if you just look at, IOD is neutral at present. By the monsoon season, it will become positive IOD, and positive IOD is good for monsoon. And neutral El Nino or ENSO condition is also good for monsoon. Now, if you look at the impact of heat wave during this period, during heat wave, there are elevated temperatures pose significant risks, especially for vulnerable populations like elderly, children, and those with pre-existing health conditions, who are more susceptible to heat-related illness such as the heat exhaustion and heat strokes. Additionally, prolonged periods of extreme heat can lead to dehydration and strain infrastructure such as power grids and transportation systems. To address these challenges, it is imperative for authorities to take proactive measures. That's why in today's meeting, we have got all our experts from all the ministries concerned. So this includes providing access to cooling centers, issuing heat advisories, and implementing strategies to alleviate the urban heat island effects. So efforts are essential for safeguarding public health and minimizing the adverse impacts of the heat wave. Now, for preparedness measures, we have an integrated approach. It has been reviewed by NDMA, and details we will go through. So with the leadership in NDMA, the Minister of Jal Shakti, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Health, and Minister of Power, and many other ministries have taken all actions at central level, and also the state agencies. All have been working together to combat with the expected heat wave conditions. Now, looking at the steps taken by the NDMA, on 9 January itself, meeting with technical institutions and experts was held to review the lessons learned last year. On 13 to 14 February, annual workshop was conducted in Delhi, if you remember, in Vigyan Bhavan. 23 heat wave prone states, union territories, selected districts, key sectors like health, water, agriculture, railways, etc. They participated. And 6 March, advisory issued to heat wave prone states based on forecast issued by IMD. NDMA's awareness generation campaign was also continuing using a radio, a TV, and Doordarshan, e-Vidya, DTH, TV channels, and social media also. Advisories are issued to Election Commission also, as our Honorable Minister was telling. This is a very peculiar period, very important period also, April and May, when we have got the elections. More people will be exposed outside to the heat, Therefore, special advisory has been issued by NDMA to the Election Commission for take precautionary measures. State health action plans have been prepared based on NDMA guidelines. 23 heat wave prone states, union territories have the heat action plans. Many states have updated their heat action plans for 2024. It is a continuous activity carried out with the leadership of NDMA. Now, city or district level heat action plans, more than 200 cities and districts have prepared local heat action plans. Some district cities have prepared or updated HAPs in 2024. Cities experiencing heat island effects also, so temperature and heat index tend to increase further. In some pockets, if you remember, in Delhi also we get higher temperature relative to other areas. So advisory to states has been issued by NDMA. Control room has been activated. Uniform enforcement of standard operation procedure has been ensured. Adoption and execution of local heat action plans and stockpiling of oral rehydration solutions, etc. Repair of hand pumps, water kiosks and coolers. Health personnel training. Mortality and illness reporting of heat wave. It is very much essential for development of the system, that is heat wave warning and impact-based forecasting system, and also the capacity building. Power supply maintenance also has been taken care, and public relief measures, that is extension of public park timings and prevention of shelters and schools, etc. Some states have taken initiative to reallocate the timing for the schools and colleges and also the office hours. Heat wave advisory for general elections has been issued, that election-induced exposure, anticipated increase in outdoor activities during 2024 general election could heighten public vulnerability to heat waves. Public health risk, with greater exposure, there is an elevated risk of heat wave-related health issues. Advisory for Election Commission also has been issued based on IMD's forecast, and IMD is issuing forecast to state election commissioners and also the National Election Commission. On daily basis, we are also issuing the external forecast and long-range forecast to Election Commission. Then preventive measures, the advisory aims to direct rigorous preventive actions to avoid heat wave-induced fatalities and illness during the high-risk summer of 2024. And short-term preparedness, long-term preparedness, comprehensive mitigation framework has been developed, NDMA manual on cool roof, advanced meteorological services, as we are witnessing now, the ecosystem and water management, green cover water bodies, making heat action plans more dynamic and adaptive, integrating heat wave mitigation in urban planning, for example, cool roofs, greenery, and water conservation as key facets. Changes in building codes and bylaws are also being addressed. Technological solutions, as construction technology, monitoring systems are also essential to deal with the heat wave in future. Now I will come to Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The present status, wheat is the major crop in the winter season. And as on 26 March, we'll just have a look here. You will find that, so starting from 2017-18, if you look at 23-24, yes, gradually it is increasing. You can say area in a million hectare and food in million tons. So this year it is 1.21% more area sown than last year. So therefore, the weather has been so much conducive for this year, apart from other initiatives by the government. Estimated production is 112.02 million tons, which is about 1.46 million ton more than last year. Now, if you look at state-wise, yes, Uttar Pradesh contributes maximum, that is 30.4%, and Madhya Pradesh, then Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and total these 5 states contribute 85.65% of the total wheat predictions in 22-23. Now, looking at this forecast, as I have told you, during 1 to 7 April, if you just look at, there is possibility of rise in temperature by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. But however, the wheat-prone area, if you just look at the states what we have discussed, there is no heat wave warning for heat-producing states except MP, Madhya Pradesh. For some areas in Madhya Pradesh, there could be heat wave conditions for next 7 days or so. And the present temperatures are around 37 to 40 degrees Celsius in Madhya Pradesh and likely to go up to 42 degrees Celsius. So for Madhya Pradesh, 90% of harvesting is over. So there will be no such impact of the ensuing rise in temperature. So even if temperature rises beyond 35 or 37 degrees Celsius, there will be no impact in Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Of course, we are not expecting heat wave conditions in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. Then this is the crop condition and harvesting status of wheat as on 26 March. You can see the Uttar Pradesh, it is a grain filling to maturity stage. Madhya Pradesh, it is maturity to harvesting stage. Punjab, it is grain filling to maturity. Rajasthan, maturity to harvesting. Bihar, grain filling to maturity. Haryana, grain filling to maturity. So therefore, grain filling to maturity stage is only over northern parts where we are not expecting so much heat wave conditions, but only Madhya Pradesh was the matter of worry, but however, it is in the maturity to harvesting stage. Now, Minister of Agriculture is monitoring the situation. 2 meetings under chairmanship of Additional Secretary were held with states and ICAR to monitor wheat crop conditions. Crop weather watch group meeting is being organized every week. There is an interministerial committee review. Satellite image-based monitoring also being carried out to find out the status of the crop. Based on IMD's weather projections, ICAR issues regular advisories to farmers through KVKs on bi-weekly basis. Now let us come to Ministry of Jal Shakti. So under Ministry of Jal Shakti, there are about 150 reservoirs at present. You can see how the number of reservoirs increased over the years. And gross storage is 221.7 BCM. Live storage is 178.784 BCM. This is based on 28 March. So this is the progress you can see from 1st June until this year. You can see that. So water year for 23-24, then 22-23, and 10 years average. What you find that the reservoir monitored is 150. Frequency of bulletin is weekly being issued. The live storage at present on 28 March is 64.603 BCM, which is the 84% of the last year and 97% of the average of the last 10 years. Now, region-wise, if you just look at northern region, live storage is 6.290 BCM, which is 85% last year and 98% of the 10-year average. Eastern region, it is 113% last year and 100% of 10-year average. Western region, 84% last year and 103% of 10 years average. Central region, it is 94% last year and 110% of the 10-year average. So southern region is 59% last year and 73% 10 years average. So if I compare different regions, therefore the only worry is the southern India, where the rainfall has been less, and therefore it is 59% of the last year and 73% 10 years average. So Minister of Health and Family Welfare, they have issued the advisories to the state. Advisory to the State Health Department on heat wave season for 2024 has been prepared and sent based on forecast issued on 1st March. Again, 1st April they are issuing, they will issue the latest informations. The National Action Plan on Heat-Related Illness, a booklet has been prepared, and various training manuals for community members recognizing and preventing heat-related illness. Department of Health and Family Welfare and National Disaster Management Authority, joint letter to all chief secretaries regarding health, regarding hospital fires during summer months also has been raised, and precautionary measures are being taken. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I will request Shri Kamal Kishore, sir, to give his remarks.
A very good afternoon, Honorable Minister, DG IMD. I think as far as disaster risk management response to the heat wave is concerned, Dr. Mahapatra's presentation covered most of it, but I will just summarize it in 5 points and highlight some of the key things. The first thing I want to say is that, like every year, we do not wait for the heat wave season. We start preparing well before the onset of the season. So as Honorable Minister also highlighted, that on 13th and 14th February itself, when we were actually experiencing cold wave conditions in Delhi, we started to think about the summer months, and we had participation from all the 23 states and UTs that are affected by heat wave. Multiple departments and ministries of Government of India, also civil society organizations that work in the field in communities where the heat wave impact is felt the most. In addition to this, we are holding meetings with the states to really check on the compliance with the advisories that we've been sending out every 2 weeks. And after today's forecast, we will hold another meeting with all the states and UTs to look at that. The second thing is that at the moment, we have 100% coverage in terms of heat wave action plans at the level of states and UTs. All 23 states and UTs that are considered heat wave prone have their heat action plan, so that should guide their response. NDMA produced its national guidelines in 2016, revised it in 2019. So that's the basis. This is something that we produced collaboratively with the IMD and other departments, including Ministry of Health. So that's the basis for heat wave action plans. In addition, more than 200 districts and cities have their city or district level heat wave action plan. The third thing I want to say is that awareness generation is absolutely critical. It's really, we have to carry everyone along. With simple measures, we can actually reduce heat wave related illnesses and completely eliminate heat wave related deaths. So in this regard, we have produced audiovisual material both in Hindi and English for public dissemination. We are sharing this with states. They can translate that in their languages and use that for raising public awareness. I am myself doing programs on radio, which is a call-in program, engaging with the public and directly addressing people's questions in a call-in program. And of course, we are making full use of our social media platforms as well. The fourth point I want to make is that our approach has been that this is not just a problem of IMD or NDMA or Ministry of Health. It really requires a cross-sectoral response. The event that we had in February, it had colleagues not only from the ministries that I just mentioned, but also Ministry of Railways, a big user of heat wave forecast, power, agriculture, water resources, labor and employment, education. We need to look at the vulnerability of our traffic policemen, for example, who have high exposure. So it really has to have a multi-sectorial approach, and that has been the spirit of our work over the last months in preparation for this season. And my fifth and final point is that it's both short-term but also long-term. There's a response that has to be done to the coming season in response to the forecast that Dr. Mahapatra just presented. But because of climate change, more and more geographical area of our country is becoming prone to heat waves. So we really also require long-term solutions, including how we build our built environment, buildings, whether public or private. NDMA has produced a guideline on cool roof technologies. We have commissioned studies to look at the effect of urban morphology. How do you use green spaces, water bodies to reduce the impact of heat wave, not just for this season, but for years and decades to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. With the permission, sir, can we take a few questions from the media?
So I must thank Dr. Mahapatra and Kamal Kishorji for putting a very clear picture before us, the challenges which we are going to face. So the challenges are there. Today is 1st April, but we are not fooling anybody. So challenges are real. And because during election in India, we all know, people are going to come out. There will be election rallies, meetings, movement, officials will be on the ground. There will be security, personnel movement. There will be heavy, activities all across the country. So that is how we will have the maximum exposure. From every section of the society. Nobody can be left behind. Everybody will be exposed in the condition. So that is why it is more important and relevant for all of us to understand the situation. And now I hope with the precise briefings, things are clear, but in any case, if you have any clarifications to be sought, then we will definitely give the clarification. And I don't think much will be required because the briefings have been quite elaborate and very clear. So in case if you have anything to observe out of this briefing or seek clarification, please.
Hello, good evening. My first question is to Mr. Kamal Kishore and another would be for Dr. Mahapatra. You have issued advisories to almost all multiple stakeholders. Mantriji has been harping quite a lot on elections, rallies and everything. Have you issued any advisory to any political party regarding what to do at the political rallies or sabhas? We have last year's example where near Mumbai there were deaths in a political rally. That's my question to you. Sir, to you, what is the prediction for core monsoon zone?
Response to the first question, we have written to the Election Commission with the advisory to instruct all the states, all the concerned stakeholders in the election process.
For the core monsoon zone, forecast says that temperature will be above normal for the period April to June and also in the month of April. But if you look at the probability of heat wave, for the season it is higher than normal. But for the month of April, it is not the entire monsoon core zone. It is for Odisha, then North Maharashtra especially, or Maharashtra you can say, and then West Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat. These are expected to have more than normal number of heat wave days in the month of April. So Chhattisgarh, East MP, Telangana, they are expected to be normal or less than normal number of days.
I'm from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. If I can add to the question there. Ma'am, actually from Health Department, we have issued advisory on mass gathering that we issued to the State Health Department. So there is a portion that we try to cover through that advisory from the last experience. Thank you. Thank you.
This question is to Dr. Mahapatra. Dr. Mahapatra, you said El Nino condition will be neutral during this season, April to June. So when exactly it will turn neutral? And when the monsoon sets in, like you said, second half of the monsoon, it will be La Nina conditions. So when exactly you anticipate this to?
So as per our forecast, if you just look at April and May, we are expecting El Nino condition to continue. By the beginning of the season, monsoon season, that is June, it should be neutral conditions. And by the second half, perhaps there could be the La Nina conditions.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is to Dr. Mohapatra. Sir, last year we saw that the Indo-Gangetic plains were the worst affected. This time it seems to be the southern peninsular states and western parts of India. Any specific reasons for that? And second, last year we also saw that there were no breaks in between and the duration of these heat waves were very long, unusually long. So any sort of prediction for the summer this time regarding that? Thank you.
Thank you. So last year, it was mainly the eastern India, starting with East UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, and Ganges West Bengal. The second half of May till that was the conditions. So this year also, if you just look at Eastern India, also for the month of April. So in the month of April, if you just look at this year also, we are expecting heat wave conditions over the same area like Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and North Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh especially. And in addition to that, yes, western part we are also expecting this year, that is Madhya Maharashtra and Gujarat, that is including Saurashtra Kutch, and adjacent areas of Madhya Pradesh.
Any specific reason why this?
Yeah, actually, it is difficult to assign any specific reason, but this is the El Nino year. In the El Nino year, this area usually gets the higher number of heat wave days. Another reason could be, that is we are expecting rainfall over northwest India. In the month of April, just look at it is above normal to normal rainfall activity. If the rainfall activity, certainly temperature will not go off. Therefore, we cannot expect heat wave condition over northwest India.
I think everybody is satisfied.
So, any more questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, there are no questions from online. That's it. No, sir, no questions. No questions from online, sir. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. So there's one question. Just now it has come from on YouTube. Whether any guidelines are been issued for conservation of water to plug leakage of water, misuse, etc., to the local administrators, particularly in southern regions.
You can add and then ask.
I think in general, it's in the spirit of the multi-sectoral approach. So Jal Shakti is also issuing some advice on management of reservoirs. I do not have the specific details because the question is very this thing. But in general, for water resources, how do you do water resources management, improve its efficiency? Jal Shakti is working on that.
So there's one more online question. हीट वेव से बचने के लिए पब्लिक को किस तरह जागरूक किया जा रहा है ग्राउंड लेवल पर?
देखिए हमारे एनडीएमए के वेबसाइट पे डूज एंड डोंट्स क्या करें क्या ना करें हीट वेव के संदर्भ में ये काफी सरल भाषा में अंग्रेजी और हिंदी में उपलब्ध है। इसके अलावा ये तो प्रिंट मटेरियल, इसके अलावा हम टीवी पे एक कैंपेन चला रहे हैं एक हफ्ते का, जिसमें जन को इस बात से अवगत कराया जाएगा कि क्या मेजर्स लेने हैं, क्या उपाय करने हैं हीट वेव से अपने आप को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए। रेडियो पर भी कई प्रोग्राम हुए हैं। एक स्पेशल प्रोग्राम टीवी पर आपदा का सामना डीडी न्यूज के सभी चैनल्स ने रिकॉर्ड किया गया है। इसको 3 बार प्रसारित किया जा चुका है, 2 या 3 बार प्रसारित किया जा चुका है।
Sir, through WebEx also we have a few questions, sir. One is by Mr. Sushil Godara. Yes, sir. How is the rainfall looks like in June? This is by Mr. Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Can I ask question, sir?
So currently we have a forecasting system where we provide forecast for the next month and for the month of April. Therefore, we showed the forecast of rainfall. As for that, northern parts of the country, we are expecting more rainfall as compared to southern parts. For the month of June, there is no such forecast at present. It will be issued by end of May. And for monsoon season as a whole, forecast will be issued around middle of April. First stage and second stage will be issued by end of May.
There's one more question, that what measures is Ministry of Power taking like other ministries?
Sir, as far as Ministry of Power is concerned, we have on the basis of the predictions which we have received from IMD, as far as generation side is concerned, we have ensured that all our power generating stations will be on bar, which means that they will be available during this period. All their maintenance schedules have been either deferred or have been completed before this season only. So there will be 100% availability of all our generating stations. Besides this, we have even asked our major generators like NTPC, etc., to tie up additional gas availability so that in case any need arises, then additional gas-based generation power can also be made available to the distribution companies in case they require. Besides this, we have also issued advisories from our side as far as distribution part is concerned on the lines of NDMA that they should maintain their distribution schedules as well as whatever spare transformers, etc. are required, that should be kept ready during this period, sir. So from our side, our advisories and our directions are already in place, and we also have our plan in place. Thank you, sir.
There is a question regarding any specific advisories for wheat harvesting in Punjab, Haryana. What will happen in later part of April and May when heat waves might hit this part of the country?
Sir, most of the wheat which was sown in the normal sowing seasons, that is ready to harvest in next 15 days. They were harvesting in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Western UP. All those will be in full-fledged. Full-fledged harvesting will start, and almost all the wheat crop is in grain filling stage and maturity phase. So now, even if the temperature rises to 37 degree maximum, then also there will be no harm to the crop. And because grain filling is a continuous process, and crop adjusted accordingly, and the grains are very good in that condition.
Thanks. So there is a question by Dr. Neha Parikh. La Nina conditions will prevail from which month? How much surplus rainfall will be received?
Yeah. So we expect, as per the forecast issued by IMD, towards second half of the monsoon season, there is possibility of development of La Nina conditions.
Thank you, sir. So there is one more. Okay. Yeah, there are more questions. They are coming on. Okay, last question, sir. How much Maharashtra will be affected due to heat waves, and when rainfall is expected?
So Maharashtra, as per the forecast issued today for the season April to June, we are expecting heat wave conditions, especially Madhya Maharashtra and Marathwada and Bidar area. Above normal, it could be around 6 to 8 days of heat wave conditions during the season. Also in the month of March, in the month of April, we are expecting the heat wave conditions in Maharashtra, especially the interior Maharashtra covering Madhya Maharashtra, Marathwada and Bidar, western type of Bidar.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Maharashtra, be careful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I, on behalf of India Meteorological Department, extend our heartfelt thanks to Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences and Food Processing Industries, Shri Kiran Rijiju ji, Member and Head NDMA, all our esteemed guests present here and through different online platforms. Thank you for making this event a success. A refreshment is arranged on the second part of this hall. Please proceed further. Thank you very much, sir.
Very good.
ठीक है, तुम्हारा व्हाट्सएप खुला है? व्हाट्सएप खुला है तुम्हारा?